Hey guys, what's going on? Jamie Soriano here, and welcome to the webinar. I'm super excited to be with you guys tonight, and we are going to go over a lot of information, guys, in a very short period of time. So do me a favor and just grab a notepad, something that you can write on and take some notes, because again, I'm going to fly through a lot of information. I'm going to slow down on some parts that I really want to emphasize, because really I want to give you a tremendous amount of value. Okay. I know from the email that I sent you guys, and I know some of you guys read through that email, or maybe you saw the link that I posted on Facebook, but at the end of the day, the bottom line for this webinar tonight and over the next couple of minutes, we're going to be talking about how to rake in leads from the internet. Okay. Because if you're building a network marketing business, an affiliate marketing business, if you're looking to sell your coaching or maybe your digital products or ebooks that you've created, at the end of the day, if you don't have leads or a list, you're going to have a hard time making sales. Okay. And so what I want to do tonight is I really want to spend some time with you guys talking about raking in leads. Okay. How do you get leads on the internet? Because chances are, if you're on this webinar, you're probably a network marketer. You're probably someone who's in the network marketing space, and you're looking for ways to leverage the internet on and looking to get yourself in front of people that are looking for what it is that you're offering, right? Because at the end of the day, if you can get yourself in front of people that are already looking for what it is that you're offering, then making sales is going to be pretty I don't want to say easy, okay, because I hate using that word, but again, at the end of the day, if you can get yourself in front of people that are already looking for what it is that you're offering, then making sales is not going to be that difficult. So before we dive into the information here tonight, do me a favor, if you have a phone, obviously you have a phone, right? Turn it off or turn the ringer off. If you're on Facebook, cut yourself out of Facebook, cut yourself out of Skype, get off Instagram, hold on to the text messages. Okay. Just give me your undivided attention for the next couple of minutes, because, again, the information I'm going to share with you tonight, really could be life changing. And I know that sounds really cliche, but check this out, okay? What would your business be like if you had 20 to 30 plus leads a day coming in, right? I mean, I don't know what network marketing company you're in, but regardless of what company that you're in, if you had 20 to 30 leads a day coming into your inbox, your sales funnel, whatever you want to call it, right? You're not going to have a hard time building that business. For me, I've been fortunate enough to learn how to market online and generate a ton of leads. And because of that, some of you guys saw the video on the registration page. I've been able to do some pretty cool things. Okay. In my last network marketing company, I sponsored personally 52 people with a $500 buy-in, all because I had a list, right? I sponsored over 80 people into a high ticket program called Empower Network when it first came out, all because I had a list. I did that all within my first 30 to 45 days. Inside of My Lead System Pro, which is the finest attraction marketing community on the internet today. It's an awesome marketing system. I've personally referred over 400, almost 400 people actually, into that system. Why? How am I able to do that? Because I'm so special? No, it's because I figured out how to get leads online, and I was able to build an email list, which that email list, I was able to build a relationship with that list. And once you have an email list and you have a relationship with that list, you can pretty much promote, sell, share anything or any offer with that list, and you're gonna have some success. Okay. And so what I want to do is I want to just jump right into the information. Let me share my screen with you guys. Let me share my screen here, and then we'll dive right into the info. Give me 1 second here. Okay. All right. All right. Awesome. Okay. So hopefully you guys are seeing, the slide here. Okay. And it's called How to Leverage the Internet and Rake in Leads Like a Rock Star. By the way, that's my Facebook link. If you, just in case, we're not connected on Facebook and you do have some questions or anything that might come up later, feel free to inbox me, hit me up on chat. I'm always on Facebook. It's, my Messenger app is always on, and I'm always communicating with people all the time. So it's a great way for you to catch me. Okay. And if you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me. There's my link right there. But let's talk about how to get yourself in a position to get leads. Okay. Because at the end of the day, like I mentioned before, internet marketing, online marketing, it's all about getting leads. As a matter of fact, forget about internet marketing and online marketing, just marketing in general. Being an entrepreneur and having a business, you need to have leads. Okay. I mean, that's why, traditional business owners, they spend a lot of money on leads. They do advertising and print ads and things of that nature. Now, again, why am I talking about that? Because whether you're an offline traditional business owner or an internet marketer or a network marketer, if you don't have leads, you're not gonna be able to build your business. If you're not having success, I always tell people, look, if you're not having success in your business, chances are it's because you just lack the leads, because lead prosperity equals prosperity. Okay. If you have more people, asking you about your business than you can get to, I mean, that's a good problem to have, right? So here's what you're going to learn on this live webinar. Okay. Number one, you're going to learn how to leverage the internet to get leads and build your list. You're also going to learn the 5-step formula that every top marketer uses to make more sales and profit, even when people say no to their business, right? Again, if you're a network marketer, which chances are you're a network marketer if you're on this webinar, if someone does not join your business, typically what happens to most people? Well, they get bummed out and they move on to the next person. Okay. Which there's nothing wrong with that. But what if you can still make money or profit even when people say no to your business? Now, I'm going to talk to you about how you're able to do that online in this webinar. So make sure you're paying very close attention. You stay for the whole thing. Because again, like I said before, there's going to be a lot of information here. As a matter of fact, because, there's a lot of information that I do want to deliver, if there's anything that I miss or we just run out of time, then I'm going to schedule a secondary webinar to cover any bases that I didn't hit. Okay. But I'm going to do my best to try to cover everything tonight, because I do want you to leave here, having the overall concept in your head. And again, whether you want to leverage the tools, whether you want to get involved with the marketing system that I actually use, that's irrelevant. Okay. The bottom line is whether you want to leverage the tools or pick up the system that I'm going to share with you tonight. At the end of this webinar, you're going to have a basic understanding at the very least of how to market your business online. Okay. The third thing you're going to see is you're going to see an inside look into my marketing system. And then we're going to do some Q&A. Okay. We're going to go into some question and answer. So have some questions ready. If you have any questions, you might have already a couple prepared. If not, if anything pops up during the course of this webinar, just jot them down. We're going to try to get to, your question. Okay. Now, why should you even pay attention? Okay. Why should I, some of you guys, this is your first webinar with me. Maybe you're new to my list. Maybe you've just connected with me on Facebook, or you've just liked my business page, and, you're wondering, why should I even listen to you? Okay. Well, experience for one. Okay. I've been involved with the network marketing industry for over 18 years. As a matter of fact, this is really all I've known. Straight from college, I actually went straight from college into network marketing. Okay, I was invited out to a meeting, just like some of you guys may have, been introduced to the concept of network marketing. And based on that meeting, I got super excited about the industry because, they talked about leverage and residual income. And these are all things that, I didn't know existed. The only thing I knew when I got involved with this industry was I was 22 and a half years old or whatever. I had a little part-time job at Mount Sinai Hospital in uptown Manhattan, because I'm from New York. And I was going to school and I was watching all my buddies and friends graduate from college, and they'd even have jobs in the field that they were studying for, right? They were all working in retail. And again, nothing wrong with that. But I just knew that for me, I was just like, man, this cannot be my life, right? Getting out of college, I did not want to, invest the next 20, 30, 40 years of my life working for somebody else, because, I hated my job then. I was thinking to myself, man, imagine what my life would be like if I, stick around working for somebody else for the next 40 years. Right. And I started looking around at my job at the time. And I started looking around at the people that were there for 20 and 30, 40 years. And guess what? Not one of them came to work with a smile. Every single one of them was miserable. Every single one of them just looked like they wanted to, blow their head off. Right. And so for me, I was like, man, that is my future. Right. So I really didn't know what I was looking for. I didn't really know network marketing existed. All I knew was that I wanted to do something, and I wanted to do something different. So, make a long story short, when I got invited out to a meeting, and I was the guy that, they invited out and I didn't show up. Matter of fact, I didn't show up for 8 months. Okay. Now here I was looking for something and I wasn't showing up. Okay. When they were inviting me out to the meeting. Okay. But finally, I just said, you know what, I'm just going to take a look at this. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? Right. And so 8 months later, I actually went into a meeting and saw the concept of network marketing, and it just blew my mind. And make a long story short, I went straight from college into network marketing within 13 months, never having any experience or having never done any type of business like that. In 13 months, I was actually at the vice president position at the company that I was with. So, we had some success. Okay. And for the last 18 years, we've been full time in this profession. We've been a home-based business entrepreneur. Again, for the first 10 years of my career, I built businesses and teams offline. Now, again, we're going to talk about internet marketing in this webinar, but I'm just kind of giving you the backdrop of, I know what I know, and I've been around the block and I've seen success. As a matter of fact, we've made over 7 figures over our career in this space. Okay. So again, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm just letting you know that, we know some things. Okay. And, if you're not seeing success in your business right now, chances are we can give you some value and we can give you some tips and we can give you some help. Right. But what happened was, after 10 years of building my business offline, I wanted to, the internet at the time when I first got started in this industry, it wasn't around. There was no Facebook, there was no Skype, there was no Instagram or YouTube or anything like that. So I was building businesses offline, right? Going to malls, giving out my business card, meeting strangers, things of that nature. It was, and I'll be honest with you, it was brutal. Okay. But my desire for success was higher than the pain I felt doing that stuff. And so we just went through the grind, and we were able to, achieve success inside of our company. But around 5 years ago, I started looking at the internet because the internet was starting to blow up. Right. And I said, you know what, there has to be a way to leverage the internet and make, building this business or building my business not so much easier. Okay. Because I don't believe there's anything such as easy business. Right. If anything, if anybody tells you that business is easy, they're probably lying to you. Okay. Because there's nothing easy in business. Right. But I was looking for some ways to leverage to make my life a little bit more simpler. Right. I don't want to have to run around the all over my city and run from one Starbucks to the other and go to people's homes at night. And nothing against that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I said, you know what? I can still do that stuff, but I want to be able to leverage the internet because there's so many people on the internet and a lot of them are looking for some way to make money. If I can just put my business in front of them and I could, leverage different tools and things of that nature, that has to be a way. So make a long story short, I actually got back-ended. I was watching some videos on YouTube one day, and I actually got back-ended into My Lead System Pro, which is, again, it's a generic marketing system. Now, again, some of you guys might have heard of My Lead System Pro. Maybe you haven't, maybe you like it, maybe you don't. I just know for me, I got back-ended into the system. And once I really started to dig into the information, number one, I was overwhelmed because I wasn't an internet marketer. I was totally doing my business offline, right? But once I started to dig into the information, man, I started to get excited because I said, you know what, if I can get leads, if I can just get leads, because I can get on the phone, I can talk to people, I can do presentations, I can share a concept, I can share my business, I can get excited about products. The problem is if I can't find those people to talk to, I'm not gonna be able to build a business. But if I can just get in front of people, AKA leads, I said, you know what, it's gonna be game over, right? So I started to dig into the information, and lo and behold, because of some things that we've learned inside of My Lead System Pro, because everything I've learned about internet marketing, probably 97% of it I learned from inside of My Lead System Pro, right? Again, with obviously my own experience and testing and falling flat on my face and trial and error. But, I learned the fundamentals and I had a good foundation because of the things I learned in My Lead System Pro. And, here I am with the owners of My Lead System Pro. I actually all time, and My Lead System Pro has been around, I believe, since 2008. They've paid out over $10 million in affiliate commissions. They've literally had tens of thousands of affiliates walk through their doors over the last 8 years. And all time, I'm actually number 8 in all-time leads. Okay. So just to give you a little, again, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm trying to give you some documentation here that I know how to get leads, okay? Because there's the people that have walked through the halls of My Lead System Pro is literally a who's who of internet marketing rock stars, right? I mean, everyone that you see on the internet that's just crushing it and killing it at one point, they were probably a part of My Lead System Pro. They probably got their start in My Lead System Pro. So we've actually been blessed to be number 8 in all-time leads. And again, just to give you some background on myself and document the fact that I can help you get leads because I know how to do it, right? Here's just this is just a couple of my pictures here, and I kind of threw these slides together just a little while ago, so I apologize if they're kind of all over the place, but I'll walk you through it. Okay, this is just one of my email subscriber list, right? I mean, this is just, I got 176 leads one day, 200 leads the next day, 101 leads. We're averaging over 100 plus leads a day, and I have a couple of different lists, but imagine what your business would look like or how excited you would be if you were generating 20, 30, 40 leads a day. Forget about, these big numbers, right? Forget about generating 100, 200 leads a day. What if you were just generating 20, 30? Because at the end of the day, if you can generate 20, 30, 40 leads a day, you can build your business online, right? The magic number when I got started that they told me was, Jamie, if you can get to 25 plus, 25, 30 leads a day, you're gold. And so that was my initial goal. Okay. My initial goal right out of the gate was, man, I want to get to 25, 30 leads a day. And it wasn't easy, right? It wasn't easy because, again, this was about 4 years ago, and a lot of tools and things of that nature that are around today with the system, wasn't around back then. I mean, Instagram and a lot of these other social networking websites that are around right now that people are killing it on and actually getting a lot of leads and making sales and stuff. None of that was around back then, right? But I was able to do that, okay? And again, I'm going to talk a little bit about that in this webinar. Now, again, remember I said lead prosperity equals prosperity, because I've been able to generate, 40,000 plus leads, and I know how to get leads. I literally know how to pull leads, anytime I really want to, okay? This is just one of the, a testimonial that I did that they actually put on a sales video, the early sales video that they did for Empower. This was actually, they actually used my testimonial because I was able to generate over $30,000 in commissions inside of my first 30 days. And again, we're not going to talk about, that in this webinar, that specific program. I'm just trying to let you know that if you have the leads, you can promote whatever you want and you're going to have success. Right. Okay. So let me move forward here. So again, I already asked you this maybe 3 or 4 times. I really want to set the tone and set the mood and really get you thinking about this. What would your business look like if you have 30 plus leads a day? Well, let's look at what all the top online marketers are doing. Every single one of them, which is a clue, right? I mean, when you see what everybody is doing that's actually getting results online, shouldn't that be a clue, right? I mean, that should tell you, what? They're all doing it, that there must be something there, right? Well, every single one of them are using a concept called attraction marketing. Now, again, for some of you guys, maybe this is the first time you're hearing that. I know for me, even though I was in the network marketing profession for 10 plus years, when I first jumped online, I never heard of attraction marketing. So let me kind of break it down. Okay. And again, this is the basic premise is, you have people that are actually, going after you, right? Hunting you down instead of you being the hunter and you're trying to hunt them down. Now you're being the hunted, I guess, for lack of a better term. And they're actually asking you, hey, what is your business? Can you tell me about it? Can you give me some more information? And again, when you have a lot of people doing that, again, it's going to be very simple for you to make sales, sign people up into your business, promote whatever it is that you want to promote, right? But let's talk about what is attraction marketing. Because again, for the people that are hearing this concept for the first time, I want to kind of give you some, give you a quick little overview. Okay. Basically, it's about you giving value to the marketplace and giving your target audience a reason to want to buy from you or join your business. Right. And it's a little bit different. Again, for me, this was one of the hardest things for me because, when I was doing my network marketing business offline, we were out there talking to people and we were, sitting down with them and showing them the flip chart presentation or whatever we were using at the time. And we were kind of quote unquote pitching them the business, right? And we were saying, hey, this is why you should get involved. And, and a lot of them said either yes or they said no, right? Well, with attraction marketing, the biggest paradigm shift for me, because I just couldn't wrap my head around this early on, it was kind of the opposite. Instead of us trying to pitch them the business, what we were doing here with attraction marketing is they were talking to me about giving value to the marketplace and giving people a reason to want to get involved with you, a reason to want to join you, a reason to buy your product, right? And so the more value you give, the more you create authority, right? You brand yourself and you position yourself as the expert. And the more you create authority, the more you build your brand, right? So understand, guys, there is a major difference between active prospecting and attraction marketing. Okay. Now, I've been talking a little bit about offline and comparing it to online. Okay. But let me just kind of switch gears here and just focus on the online marketing space, because that's really what we're going to talk about tonight. Even if you're online, even with internet marketing, there's a difference between active prospecting and attraction marketing. Active prospecting is when you're, let's say, for example, you're on Facebook and you're talking to people on Facebook, right? You're connecting with people, and you're people that you're inboxing them and say, hey man, I want to show you something. Let's get together over Skype or get on a phone call for 5 minutes. I really want to share something with you. Again, I don't really, I don't recommend you doing that with people you don't know, right? But with people that you do know, you could certainly do that, right? And that's active prospecting when you're being the proactive one and approaching people, right? Attraction marketing is when you're putting content out, videos, articles, blog posts, things of that nature, where you're solving people's problems and people are actually checking out your stuff and you're kind of pulling them into you, right? Now, what's better? A lot of people always ask me, Jamie, what's better, active prospecting or attraction marketing? There's really not one that's better, okay? Because I believe that there's a time and place for both of them, right? Like, I believe in attraction marketing. I mean, I put a lot of blogs, posts, articles, videos. I do a lot of that stuff, and I get a ton of leads, as I just showed you, right? But even though I'm getting a ton of leads, if I know somebody on Facebook and we've established a relationship already, or we've maybe in the past have done business, or there's someone in my warm market, quote unquote, on Facebook, I'll hit them up and talk to them about my business. I'll say, hey man, are you open to taking a look at something? And if they say no, great. If they say yes, great. I really don't care. But I'll still approach them, right? Again, I don't do that with anybody that I don't know, but if it's somebody that I do know, I will, right? So, but there's a time and place for both. What do I recommend for people is you do both. But again, if you want to position yourself where you have a list, an email list, you're going to have to do attraction marketing for that, right? And so let's talk about the biggest mindset shift if you're a traditional network marketer. And this is some of the stuff I talked about, because this was the mindset shift that I had to make. Because again, for over a decade, I was a traditional offline network marketer before I even made the transition into leveraging the internet. And I still, I don't really look at myself as a quote unquote internet marketer. I look at myself as a network marketer who leverages the internet. There's a difference, okay? But here's where I had to make the shift. And this is where you're going to have to make the shift also, if you're coming from, that world, right? Number one, as I mentioned before, you need to provide value first before you pitch your deal. You have to provide value first before you pitch your deal, right? Give freely your knowledge, information, solutions to people's problems, right? Give that out. Create videos, blog posts, articles, whatever, right? And just put it out and let people, when people find your videos and things of that nature and they watch it and it resonates with them, guess what? They're going to start seeking you out. See, what would your life be like if you had people seeking you out now? Now, I'm not saying you're going to sponsor people, every single person, right? But when you have people seeking you out, it's a totally different life than when you're out there being the hunter and you're trying to, just find people for your business, right? It's a lot different. The best way to provide value, as I mentioned before, is to create videos, articles, blog posts, and provide solutions for real problems your target audience has. So for example, let me give you an example. what is a real problem that the typical, let's say your target audience is a network, people in the network marketing profession, right? People that are in the network marketing space. Well, what's a problem that those people have, specifically if they're on the internet and they're, on Google, on YouTube, on Facebook? Well, a lot of times is they don't, those people need leads, right? They don't have enough leads, and they're scouring the internet looking for ways to generate leads or get more people to take a look at their business. So if you know that that's a problem, right, which is lack of leads, now you know that you can provide value if you create videos, articles, and blog posts and things of that nature, and you talk about ways that they can generate leads, right? Because now you're positioning yourself in front of people that are looking for what it is that you're talking about. In this case, leads, right? So that's just an example. And then you take your content, you share it all over social media. Again, I'm going to talk about that later on. Some of this stuff, guys, I might talk about in another webinar, because some of this stuff, to be honest with you, is actually a topic for a whole webinar in and of itself. I just want to give you guys the idea, first of all. Okay. So, kind of how this whole quote unquote online marketing thing works. Okay. So there's two critical components to make money and succeed online. If you want to build your network marketing business, if you want to sell your digital products, or, sell your coaching packages, or whatever the case might be, right? There's two critical components you're going to need. Number one is traffic, right? You need traffic, because you can't get leads if you don't have traffic, right? And number two is conversions. Now, let me talk a little bit about traffic. As I mentioned before, you cannot get leads if you don't have traffic. And traffic is simply, in a nutshell, website visitors, right? You need to drive a ton of traffic to your website if you want to get a certain percentage of that traffic to become leads, right? Now, there's two types of traffic. There's free traffic. Free traffic is, like I mentioned before, articles, videos, blog posts, right? And then there's paid traffic. Paid traffic is when, you're taking you have a marketing budget and you're paying for things like Facebook ads or YouTube pay-per-click or solo ads. And, I do a lot of YouTube pay-per-click and solo ads. I do a ton of that stuff. But, those are the two types of traffic. Okay. Now, let me talk to you about the pros and cons of each one. Free traffic, obviously the pro is that it's free, right? Right. And obviously if you're not spending for traffic and you're making sales and things of that nature, well, that's all profit, right? So that's obviously a pro, right? A con of free traffic is it takes a while to build, right? I mean, it takes anywhere from 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months for you to really get traction to the point where you're getting 20 to 30 leads a day. So it's more of a longer, organic type of marketing, right? It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's still good marketing, because people that come in, what I found out is people that come in through free traffic are a little bit more targeted, because for them to become a lead on my list, a lot of times they've watched several videos of mine. They've probably read through a couple different blog posts. Maybe they followed me on Facebook or Instagram a little bit, and they said, you know what, I want to get on this guy's list, right? So it's a little bit warm. The lead is a little bit more warm, right? Paid traffic is typically more cold. It's cold traffic. But if you want quick leads, like fast, then paid is the way to go, because it doesn't take 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. Let's say if you get a solo ad, you can, buy a solo ad and literally have, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 leads in 24 hours, right? And so big time marketers, a lot of them use paid traffic because, it's just, you can test an offer much faster and scale your business with paid traffic. But let's be real here, right? Some of you guys are maybe new to the whole internet marketing thing, and you don't have a budget for doing paid traffic. So, you'll probably have to start up with free traffic. Like for me, when I first got started, funny story, when I first got started on the internet, I was like, man, you know what? I'm just going to go pay for traffic. But hello, I didn't know what the heck I was doing, right? So what happened was I ended up like losing my shirt on, at the time, they had like Google pay-per-click, which, they don't have that anymore. But, at the time they had Google pay-per-click, and I don't know, I must have spent like $600-700 on Google pay-per-click, and I didn't get any leads. And I was like, man, this is crazy, right? So I was just like, throwing money away. So I said, you know what? All right, let me back up. Let me do the free stuff. And I just started blogging and doing videos for 6 months straight. I just did a lot of free marketing, just content, creating videos, blog posts, articles, right? And it took me about 6 months, but when I picked up, when I picked my head up after 6 months of just constantly, just every day doing a blog post or doing some type of, putting out some type of content on a daily basis, at the end of 6 months, I looked up and I had positioned myself to, be getting about 40 leads a day, 50 leads a day. Yeah, at the time it was like 40 to 50 leads a day. Okay. So that's what happened with me. And then what happened was, as I started to build my list, I started to get a budget, right? Because I was making money, making sales, doing the whole thing. And then I slowly transitioned into doing paid traffic. And that was, that was a whole process in and of itself of learning how to do paid traffic, which again, I'm not going to talk about that tonight. That's not the purpose of this webinar. I'll probably talk to you about that, in the future. But, I learned how to do solos. I learned how to do, pay-per-click. I learned how to do that stuff. So now I know how to monetize it a little bit better, or a lot better rather, and make money and stay profitable when I'm doing the paid traffic. Okay. So anyway, those are the two different types of traffic. Okay. So you need traffic, and then you need conversions, which is obviously turning that traffic into leads, which is obviously list building, because you want to get those emails, right? You want to get those emails onto your list. And then once you get those emails onto your list, right, you want to get those leads, emails, AKA leads, right? You want to turn them into sales and signups. Because just because you're getting leads and you're building a list, that's really the only part of the equation, right? The second equation is actually making sales and signups. And you're going to do that, by the way, by leveraging a sales funnel. Now, again, some of this might be a little advanced. That's okay. That's okay. Don't worry. You can go back and watch the replay of this a couple of times. It's just stick with me, because over the course of the next few webinars, because I can't pour 5 years of experience into 60 minutes, right? So I'm going to have to break some of it up. But just understand that every online sales professional, every top marketer on the internet, they use a sales funnel. Okay. So before I talk to you a little bit about a sales funnel, let me kind of back up a little bit, right? Let me just back up here, because I've had a lot of people ask me, Jamie, well, okay, I get it. You got to drive traffic, right? And I know, if I want to do the free stuff, then I got to go out there and, get on YouTube, post videos, right? And get a blog. And by the way, you should get a blog anyway, because forget the fact that, blogging creates leads, but every internet marketer that's actually getting results, every top marketer online, they all have a blog. So that's a clue. That's a clue right there. See, a blog gives you instant credibility and authority, right? See, if I was looking for whatever business you're in, if I was on Google or YouTube and doing a search for leaders in that business, and I found you and you had a blog, and I was actually able to get on your blog, and on your blog you had videos and articles and content and training, instantly I'll be like, man, this person knows what they're talking about. So all of a sudden you're positioned as the leader, right? So that's why you should have a blog. Again, I'm going to talk to you about that later on. But people always ask me, Jimmy, where do I drive traffic to? Do I drive traffic to a blog? Do I drive them to a static website? Or do I drive them to a replicated website that my company gives me? Do I drive them to a capture page? Well, never drive them to a replicated website that your network marketing company gives you, okay? Because typically those replicated websites are terrible for explaining the business, right? There's no sales presentation or sales video. A lot of time it's just different tabs that say product, company, comp plan, and it's just very cut and dry. But more important than that is those replicated websites that network marketing companies give you. There's no way for you to capture their email, right? there's no way for you to capture their email. So for example, let me give you an example here. For me, I always drive traffic to either my blog, but 90%, 90% of the time I drive people to a capture page. 10% I drive them to a blog, and I'll tell you why. When you drive them to a capture page, there's actually no other option for them except for to submit their email, right, and get on your list. When you drive them to a blog, sure, there's going to be different ways that they can get on your email list on your blog, but a lot of times they might click, and go through a couple different things and watch this video, get on this post and read all the content, which is great. But sometimes, they might, jump off your website, and because people have, people have, their attention span is so short. A lot of times, they'll see something and jump off your blog, and you didn't have a chance to capture their email, as opposed to when you drive them straight to a capture page, there's only one option for them. It's like submit your email. So let me give you an example. Here. One second. All right. All right. So is this helping, by the way? Let me just see if it's this helping. Is this kind of helping some of you guys? I mean, I know we have a small group here because I only sent really like one email to promote this webinar. And I really didn't do much promotion. And I did that on purpose because I just wanted to get a few people on and really give some personal help. But is this helping some of you guys? And just type it into the chat if you could. Okay, let me see here. All right. All right. Okay. So let me just show you why. Okay. Let me go back here. All right. So if I drive them to my blog, this is one of my blogs here. Okay. So this is like my main blog. Okay. And if I drive traffic to my blog, and I have different blog posts here, different videos, whatever, which is great because people can go on there and really get to know me. They get to read my stuff and watch some videos, and watch some videos of people giving me testimonials, which is great, right? But here they can, if they want, they can actually click on this right here, and I'm not going to do it now, but it'll actually open up into a capture page, and it's going to ask them for their email, right? But what if they don't click on this, right? Hopefully they do, right? But what if they just start going through some stuff and later on they just click on something else, right? Here's my other blog, right? Another blog here. And again, it's the same thing. They can click on this, but chances are they might go through some of this information, watch some videos, click through some of these tabs, and maybe jump off my blog and, end up somewhere else. And I never had a chance to capture their email. But if I drive them straight to a capture page, like for example, this is a capture page that I'm using right now. They really only have one option here. It's not a website where they can start clicking through some stuff and there's no videos on it, right? It's just like, here it is. I'm giving away a free 30-page PDF, and there's a 19-minute video that'll show you how I raked in 40,000 plus leads using 5 simple steps. They can put their email here, click this, and now they're on my list, right? Here's another capture page that I use, and this one's more for my primary business, right? For my network marketing business. There's a video of me talking to them a little bit about, why I'm excited about my company. And then if they want more information, if they want to watch a video, they can click on, or not click on, but they can submit their email here. And once they click, give me access, it'll take them straight to the presentation video. But my key here, my point is I want to capture the emails, right? Here's another example, right? I have a newsletter here. Hey, if you want to subscribe to my newsletter, right, I actually just started using this link on Facebook, telling people, hey man, if you want some videos, if you want some training, get on my newsletter, and I'll send you some free training, some free videos. I'll invite you out to some webinars that I'll be doing. And people type their name in here, their email, they click yes, send me training. Now they're on my list. And now I can notify them when I'm doing webinars and presentations and things of that nature, if I have a blog post that I want to share with them. But more importantly than that, once they submit their email here, they're on my list, right? Even check this out. This is the registration form for this webinar. And I had like almost 30 plus people register for the webinar today. they submit their information here to register, and automatically when they click register now, not only are they registered for the webinar, but they automatically get on my list, right? So I use different pages like this to get people's emails, because at the end of the day, I want to build an email list, right? Now, again, I still do drive people to my blog every now and then, but again, it's only if I have a purpose to do that. Otherwise, I'm just going to simply just drive them to, my capture pages, okay? Because it's just, for me, it's just a lot simpler. They look at it. If they want to get this free 30-page PDF, boom, they're putting their email and they're like, hey, give me the PDF. I'm actually bribing them to give me their email, right? Because I put together a 30-page PDF, and I'm saying, look, if you want this 30-page PDF where I'm going to show you what exactly I did and what my process was of doing that and how I did it, I'll give you that PDF. Just give me your email, right? And I know some of you guys are looking at this and you're saying, well, hold on a second. Let me go back 1 second here, guys.